Hello and welcome back to Pushing Cardboard. I'm Grant Lindeberg, and today we're going to have a look at Ardennes II from the Gamers and MMP. This is part of the Gamers Standard Combat series. They're sort of, well, I guess for them, they would call it their entry-level system compared to their OCS or their BCS series, I guess. This series is designed by Dean Essig, and this game actually is one of Dean Essig's own designs as well. This isn't done by a different designer. So, Ardennes II, it's comes in your basic MMP inch-and-a-half box. They rate it as medium complexity, medium solitaire suitability, and I think this is going to be sort of one of the larger games in the SCS, but we'll find out. Even the ones that are larger, they often will have smaller scenarios as well. So there's never need to be put off by a larger game because there's usually plenty of scenarios of different sizes so that you can play as much or as little as you want at a time. Pretty good looking cover there. Let's have a look. Your standard MMP. I proofed this card. Okay. Now, well, we'll just take it as it comes. But this says this Ardennes II Standard Combat Series. This would be the probably the game specific rules. I think there's SCS standard rules that should come in here as well, and this should just be the rules that pertain only to this particular version. So this should be the anything that's unique to this game, and that's sort of what is, yeah. And then we're straight into the scenario. So yeah, there's somewhere in there. There's going to be SCS standard rules as well. The rule book is glossy paper, which is not my favorite, but decent amount of white space, decent amount of illustrations, or just to break things up a little bit. I've always totally hated the way they do their scenarios. I wish they'd give you scenario cards or something like that. Just reading through these long lines of info is just I'm constantly losing my place, and I never know what I'm really looking at. I just hate this kind of a way to lay out scenario setups. But that's the way all the Gamers games are, so you can't do much about it. Quite a few looking, six or seven scenarios there. Some designer's notes, some stuff about what's different from this and other games in the series, which is always a helpful thing for people who play a lot. Looks like some reinforcement tables or something, and a terrain effects chart. Boy, I hope that's not the only place. I hope that's printed somewhere else. There's nothing worse than having charts in the rule book that you have to dig out the rule book instead of just having them on a chart. Ardennes II tables. Not a whole lot there, but it's got its own combat result table, so I'm sure that's the most important thing. Couple of counter sheets here. Here's the first one. The main info is really nice and big. These counters are a little dark for my liking. It's hard to read the black on the dark green in the tops of the counters where it's says what the unit name is, but you don't need to see that. You don't need to know that too often. Often all you need is like the color, and the NATO symbol tells you everything you need to know. Most of the counters are double-sided, two-step units. I'll just get this second one. It looks like they've done the SS in black, which is always, I know, it's unnecessary. I gotta say, one thing I don't like about Gamers Games is they have this idea that they want the counters to be a bit like the uniforms or something. I guess, I don't know. So here we have sort of like a Feldgrau gray, and then the black, and in the para, or in this light blue. I'm guessing they're para. I don't know. And then the Americans are in olive green, but the olive green isn't that far from their version of field gray. So it's I don't need to imagine the colors of the uniforms when I'm pushing counters around. I'd rather have a little bit more differentiation between the colors. This is even worse in some of the gamers. North Africa games where one side is like tan and the other side is brown, and it's I pity people who have any kind of color disability in their vision, because these must be the worst counters for that particular problem. Anyway, on the other hand, their maps are always incredibly detailed and good looking. Totally functional. This is a 2 mapper, and it's sort of it's actually, well, I don't know what the size of these maps are, but I'll zoom in so you can get a better look at some of the nicer chunks. A little, we got a turn record track down in the column here, or down in the corner, and a terrain key, so that's good. The terrain key, even better than on a player aid, it's right here, so that's the best place for a terrain key. So that's the one map, and then there's a second map, and so that's going to be it. Those totally good looking maps, easy to see what's going on. Visually appealing, but at the same time, the focus is on what the terrain in each hex is, what the hex sides are. That all looks like really straightforward to me. Definitely a fan of these maps for sure. And then what else have we got in the box here? We've got another copy of that player's aid, and then here we go, the standard combat series rules. So version 1.8 came in this version. That must be the well, it says copyright 2016, so who knows when if there's a newer version. I wouldn't think so. I think they'd put the newest version in because this is a fairly new game. I think this game just came out. But this is an 8-page rule book, so and that includes designer's notes. So the basic rules for standard combat system are totally easy, very, very easy. So there you go. That's what comes in the box with Ardennes II from the Gamers and MMP. Good looking maps, good looking rule books, and the campaign game here looks huge, but there are 6 other scenarios, so looks like there's probably something for everybody in this box. And if you're looking to learn a little bit about, if you want to get into hex and counter wargaming and you never played a hex and counter game before, this is not a bad place to start. There are simpler games than this, but this is definitely on the lower end of the complexity scale, especially for the gamers, for all the different games that they put out. So check it out if you're new to Hex Encounter. This might be the place for you to cut your teeth. Thanks for watching. I'm Grant Lindenberg, and we'll catch you next time on Pushing Cardboard.